It's a rainy, random Tuesday in the middle of May here at SCA Performance, but it's also a very special day because we've got a Black Widow owner who drove in all the way from California with an incredible story, and I'm super excited to share it with you today. Where'd he go? There he is.
Hey.
Mr. Alonso! What's going on?
Good. How you doing?
Nice to meet you. Stop talking, Tim, so I can introduce Mr. Alonso. Y'all say hey to Mr. Moises Alonso, an armed forces veteran, came all the way from California. How long have you been on the road?
3 days.
Been on the road for 3 days just so he could stop by SCA Performance to see where his Black Widow was built. Are you guys ready to go take a plant tour?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
I smell apple pie, fried chicken, and fireworks. America.
So what did you think about seeing where your SCA Black Widow was built?
Outstanding, incredible factory, wonderful people. Tell you what, if you're not buying your truck here, you're really just wasting your time and wasting your money. Shop around, you'll see. These folks know what they're doing. A1.
Well, if you guys are ready, we're gonna go take a short drive so that Mr. Alonso can tell us his story. Finally done.
All right.
Up in there, Drew?
Yep, barely. I need to catch my breath.
Y'all didn't invent heat or humidity, but you sure as hell perfected it.
All right, so I have given away 0 spoilers. I want you to just take a couple minutes and give a little backstory as to what the Black Widow name means to you.
Well, the Black Widow name means to me is pretty much everything. It's what turned a boy into a man. When I was 18, I joined the military, United States Army, and I was stationed at Fort Ord, California with the 7th Infantry Division Light. And that spider logo on the side of my truck was actually the same logo that we used in the division.
Wow.
To represent the light fighters and light infantry. Our motto was light, silent, and deadly, masters of the night. I went into that as a young teenage kid, and I came out of there as a responsible, productive member of society, a grown man. Coming from a background where I didn't have a lot of role models, and growing up in the inner city and not having a father in my life, you know, the Army was my family, and the Army was my father, and it helped turn me into a man and turn me into the person that I am today. And I get up and go to work every day, and it means everything to me. You know, I live vicariously through these young guys that are in the service and have gone overseas, and it's a brotherhood that once you become part of, you never leave. You know, it doesn't matter whether you're pushing bullets or beans. It's all a brotherhood, and we take care of each other. It's a promise that I made to my family, and it's a promise that I made, more importantly, to my country. You know, as a veteran, I signed my name on a blank check for the price of one life to the freedom of this country. That includes all races, all colors, all creeds. And that oath that I took doesn't have an expiration date. And I take that in my heart, and I try to teach that to my kids. When we make a promise and we sign on that dotted line and we make a commitment, we stick to that commitment. There's no quit. You see it nowadays in a lot of kids, they just give up too easy. And that's what the military taught me, because that's what I was when I was a little kid. I was a quitter. And you know, 10 years ago when I saw this truck rolling down the street, I told myself, I'm gonna get that truck. Because that truck reminds me of my time in the military, how much that meant to me. And you know what? After a lot of hard work, a lot of hard effort, taking care of my wife, taking care of my family, taking care of the important things first, you know, God seemed to bless me with the ability to be able to purchase a truck like this in order to make myself a little happy on the weekends, where I can go camping and fishing and take my boy out. And, you know, my boy calls it his monster truck. You know, he loves going in Daddy's monster truck. He's proud of his daddy. You know, those are the things that the military, and particularly the 7th Infantry Division, taught me, was we take pride in what we do. You know, we are second to none. We are the best unit in the nation. We are the best unit in the world. Those lessons that I learned are lessons that I try to teach to my family and to my kids, and keep in my daily life and in my daily prayers to help consistently improve my life and trudge through this, you know, road of happy destiny. And when we say trudge, it's not lumbering along. You know, if you look it up in the Bible, it's what trudging says, to walk with a purpose. And that's what the military gave me. And it's funny that you would just look at a logo and think of that, but it's really what it has, what meaning it has to me in my heart and in my spirit and in my soul. That when I saw that, I thought, that brings me back to a time where I accomplished something, and I know that I can still continue to do that. Yeah. And I can set that example for other people.
Man, that's
so awesome.
That right there.
Like, I could listen to that all day.
I got chill bumps.
I want to tell you one thing. One of the most valuable lessons I learned in the military was the lesson of family. Because even though I came from a family, it was a broken family, but I always envied my Army buddies, my battle buddies who were from the South, because there was a sense of family and camaraderie that they had, and the Southern hospitality that they showed. Yeah. No matter where you were from, no matter what color your skin was, you were always invited into their home, and there was always a meal sitting there waiting to take care, you know, for you to eat. And their moms would not take no for an answer. You know, like a good Italian mom. A good Southern mom is the same way, and will not take no for an answer, and make sure you get back on the bus and make sure you get home safe. And I always envied that, because I didn't have that in my life growing up. It was another reason for me to come to SCA and buy the truck. I said, these boys have got family in their soul. You can tell by the passion that they take when they make their product. We talk about all the time, the passion-driven life. You've got to have a passion in your life. You've got to have something that you look forward to on a daily basis. Otherwise, what are we doing? We're sitting down, we're just watching TV. We're waking up, we're going to work, we're not doing anything. You got to have a passion, something that makes you wake up and consistently want to get up and consistently strive. I don't know a lot of guys, and I know some guys a lot older than me that would do what I'm doing right now, which is drive all the way across the country to see where my truck was made, and then take another 1,400 mile trip out to Wyoming and go camping out in the middle of bear country all by himself. You know, I'm taking care of the priorities first. Once to come down to SCA, say thank you so much for building the truck for me, for bringing this new, you know, new, it's a little toy, but it gives me a sense of security. And if you've driven in Los Angeles, you know the sunroof ain't just a sunroof, it's a machine gun turret. You pretty much need it when you're going to change lanes. You know, I get to go up to Chicago and help my friend who just lost her mother. The positive thing for me is I get a chance to try some fly fishing out in Wyoming for a couple of days before I got to get back home and go to work. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I work really, really, really hard, but my family and my friends come first. And that little bit of time of just being out there casting that rod out into the water means so much to me. It's one of the lessons I picked up as a child from a neighbor that was in my life who had kids, and he would take me fishing with him, and it's food for the soul.
I try to tell people that every day, and that's just people don't understand me whenever I say that as well.
Jesus Christ talked about it. Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, but you teach him to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. That man taught me that lesson, and I teach that lesson to my son on a daily basis. You can have somebody do that for you, or you can learn how to do it yourself and gain the value and appreciation and knowledge of doing it, and you'll enjoy it better. And that's why I love your company so much. It's all about passion-driven life. It's about a Christian company. It's about portraying the positive message, how God and family is so important in your everyday walks of life, that rubs off on people, even with a material object like a truck. Yep. It's a nice feeling to know, hey, there's still good people left in the world. Not a lot of them in California, but...
Let me ask just one more question. What is your favorite feature of your SCA Performance Black Widow?
Oh, this rocket launcher that I added after. No,
Totally joking. Totally.
It's a movie prop. I like the fact that it's lifted, you know, it's a true 6-inch lift. If you've never driven into Los Angeles traffic or California freeways, everybody's bunched up together and there's just millions and millions of cars all over the road, and it is so hard to get in and out of any place without feeling like you're gonna be squashed by somebody. With this truck, I feel like I'm in charge. I can see way up ahead. I can see what's gonna happen so I can react a lot faster. I love the image it portrays. One of the biggest things I was saying that is when every time I pull up to a stoplight in Los Angeles, people beep their horn and they roll, "Where'd you get that truck?" You know, and your truck is so beautiful. And you wouldn't think so. I mean, guys see it and they just go, oh, they just drool over it. And women see it and they go, "Oh my God, that truck's beautiful. My husband would love that." And well, call SCA. I'll give you their number. Truly, the best thing I liked that was a selling feature was the fact that I could tell before I bought the truck that you guys were going to stand behind it. And the minute I had any questions, there wasn't 15 minutes that went by on the phone where somebody wasn't calling me, answering a concern or a question that I had about the truck, that was able to get my insecurities solved. Sorry about that.
That was a good one.
He just decided the railroad track don't mean anything for a big truck.
Nah, that's right like a Cadillac. What do you mean? That's a speed bump.
I don't think I could have said it any better myself, and I really appreciate you taking not just the time to talk to us and tell us your story, but to make the trek that you did here, to see where your truck was made. Your story is just incredible. I also want to thank you for your service. Thank you for being a part of our passion-driven family.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.